Hey everybody, we're back again. This 2024 is amazing, and I have the honor to present today with you Lucky Church, who's just spiritually inclined, and I'm going to let him share this story, So, how are you? I'm honored and privileged to have you here today.
I'm doing well. I cannot complain. It's every morning when you get to open your eyes and have another chance to do something beautiful in this world, that's a blessing every day. So
yes, it is,
yeah.
And I totally agree. Come and tell us about yourself, why we are so privileged to have you here. Tell us your story.
You know what? My story is kind of crazy. I've been in entertainment for pretty much my whole life. Since I was in high school, I was always a kid who did talent shows, so you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be the next Michael Jackson, somebody on stage. That was my initial dream. But I performed, I traveled, I was around with my band, the JUS Evolution, and rest in peace to my business partner, JUS, who I miss dearly, died a year ago. But we had a band where we traveled the world and we did hip hop rock music. But while being in that band, I didn't realize I was developing a unique skill set. I didn't realize that, I was doing PR before I knew what it was. I was coordinating our tours and doing all the show bookings, so I was acting like an agent as well. Before I knew these titles existed, being a business consultant, a manager. And the scheme that I worked up for my band to be successful was, my real name is Walter Simons, so most people don't know that. But Walter Simons would be the person making the phone calls, sending the emails, and then Walter would tell them via email or text or whatever form of communication, I can't make it to the show. I'm busy traveling with my other clients. But when you get to the venue, Lucky Church is the one who does business in the band. So just do business with him. So that was the duality that I used to get through, because the band needed to seem like we had somebody serious behind us, backing us. So everybody thought that we had this huge manager.
But the band is serious work. Making sure everybody rehearse and practice. And don't miss a note. And
that part. Making sure we show up on time, we arrive, our flights are booked. We were literally a family. So long story short, that's what helped me develop those skills in that band. And I transitioned into PR. My brother was running the music division for Lizzie Grubman, who was a very famous publicist in New York, who worked with like Jay-Z, Britney Spears, all early in their career. And he said, come, I need some help at the office. And I came down and I was able to execute some jobs that, they couldn't do at the time. And they just needed somebody with not only the skill set, but with the access. And literally, I remember that same day, Lizzie was like, who is this guy? Why don't I know him? And she was like, that's your desk over there. So I literally started working for her. And within a couple months, I was the head of PR. Head of...
It was a fantastic job.
Exactly.
You create your own space.
Exactly. I brought a table to the table. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
And I knew my worth. And that time blessed me so much. I was able to start working with Nike, Jordan Brand, Fat Joe. I did a project with DJ Khaled, Ice-T, and Coco at the time. So we just...
So you got on the block, but you wasn't no new kid on the block. You familiarized yourself with the celebrities and the people at the top. Because they saw your worth.
Oof, that's powerful
They
right there.
saw your worth.
Exactly. And they believed in me at a time where I really didn't believe in myself. But I had this skill set, and I was allowing other people to use my skill set to their advantage instead of realizing, maybe I need to start my own company and see how I can do this for myself. And then me and Lizzie gracefully parted ways in 2017, and I started my own firm.
And been running ever since.
Been running ever since.
Flying across the globe.
Exactly. You can say that. I just got back from Africa, so across the globe.
Beautiful.
Yes, we're building a school out there.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
That is beautiful. Wow. Isn't that amazing? When you sit here right now with me these very seconds, can you believe all that you've done in such a short time? I mean, this is only 2024.
Yeah, and actually I can't, honestly.
It's mind-boggling, right?
Yeah, every time I look up, sometimes we work so hard that we don't appreciate the moment and the seeds we planted. Especially because a lot of them, for me, are blossoming so fastly. But I had to look back and say, wow, look how far I've come from, scrubbing toilets to get my band to rehearse and working for free at places just to make sure we could survive and we can push through to make our dreams come true when we were traveling in Germany and all that stuff. But then transitioning that with that skill set to build something for myself that could also help feed my family, that I could actually fall in love with doing. And to be helping people run their corporations now, from this little old boy from the Bronx, you know what I mean?
Wow, amazing.
He used to cut class and was known as a class clown to really being a successful businessman. It's a blessing.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? You always had it.
Yeah. Huh.
You always had it. And you always dreamed.
Yes.
And you always knew that your space, you know, even with all of the pranking around that we do as youth and kids, that's one way to deal with whatever we're dealing with, our friends and stuff like that. And it's just a behavior.
Yeah.
But when we blossom like you have, it's like a lotus flower that you know that
one of my favorite flowers.
Yeah, that we just always bloom. We sometimes we have bad moments, so we like die, but we never really die. But it looks like that, and then we blossom again.
Exactly.
And it's evergreen.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that, because I say there are no mistakes, and it's up to you. It's perspective.
Yeah.
It's life. Anything that happens to me, whether good or bad, I don't see it that way. It's either a lesson or a blessing.
Absolutely.
And I'm able to pick myself up from any ashes and move forward stronger, wiser, and better. And, you know, and just build myself up to a better version of myself. You know what I mean? That's what I'm always looking for, growth constantly.
Yes, I can tell. And it shows in your life. And your perspective.
Yeah.
And the way you carry yourself.
Thank you so much.
And that smile on your face is not a clown. It's not painted on.
Yeah.
It's really on.
Oh, yeah.
It's really somebody that really feels gratitude.
I've survived so much. Like, people who meet me never knew I had 3 heart surgeries. They would never even assume that.
I know they won't, because I had one too, open heart surgery. After I had the cancer twice, the chemo and stuff, and then I had the open heart surgery. But I was lucky enough to go from Sloan Kettering across the street.
Presbyterian?
To
New York Presbyterian.
Yep, it's right across the street from Sloan.
That's where I got my heart surgery.
And I had Dr. Guy. I could only say he has a big system similar to like us in the studio with all this thing. And the little robots and stuff like that as he goes through and checks. I didn't have to lay back and get my heart split open and stuff like the old-fashioned days like my mom and them. Well, I have to be all of this medicine and stuff like that. Send the little thing right here and the little thing right there. Send it into the heart, fix up the heart. And there you go.
Yeah.
You can't even tell I'm a senior citizen, so you know it
not
was.
at all.
And you know what he said? Miss Hunt, I'm not God. At the time, I think I was 58 or 59. He said, and I'm not God, but really, what you're doing, you can be here another 50 or 60 years.
Wow.
And I believe him because my Uncle Ted's birthday was on the 31st, and he just became 114.
Sheesh.
And they had somebody on that day that they had on the news on Channel 2 that was 102.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
You know
what a blessing.
But my father, on the other hand, the younger brother, my father was only born in 1920. My Uncle Ted in 1910. And my father been gone.
Wow.
Since I was like maybe 30 or something like that. You know what I mean?
I lost both of my parents young too, so I understand that.
Yeah.
Lost my dad when I was 13 and my mom in my early 30s.
Yeah. So see, this is what they put in you, instilled in you. You never let that go.
No, because I was able to learn from the good and the bad.
Yeah.
That's the thing that sometimes we don't do with our own family, because we sometimes put our family on a pedestal and expect them to be perfect. I never did, because people always ask me, why you're not mad at your mom for abandoning you? Why you're not mad at your dad? I said, no, I could be mad at them for my whole life. I said, but that's not going to do anything for me. I have to look.
You life.
They gave me, I said, I'm here.
They gave you the
treasure.
treasure.
I look at my mom and what they went through. My mom was under heavy drug addiction. My dad was as well. They made the best choices they could make in those situations. My mom left me, dropped me at my grandparents' house. No, at my Aunt Bernadette's house. And then my Aunt Bernadette was just too young to take care of me and my brother, so she gave me to my grandparents and my brother to my Aunt Denise. But I said in that moment, she was doing the best thing she could do. She could have took me with her, and she had a really rough journey of using drugs and doing things to get money and get drugs. Yeah. I could have been caught in that.
Yeah, and she loved you enough and had enough sense, because we're not perfect. well, my mother and my father, they were from an old generation, so they weren't really drugged. Not really drugs. However, my father used to smoke cigarettes, but and I don't really think of my father as really wasn't a drinker neither, and my mother neither. But only time I ever saw them like really drink was maybe the New Year's at church.
Oh my God!
Catholics,
New Year's, my family used to drink woo-woo. Do you remember that drink?
Yeah. Oh boy. And so much things tickle us so that make us do better.
Exactly.
These stories show us the line that, what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do.
Exactly.
And then as the adult, we just clear away from that, and that's the end of the story.
Oh my goodness, so true.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it all, because if you in the Bronx and in New York or Brooklyn and in Staten Island or Queens, and we see it all. We ain't in no place that don't every day ain't around us. We're in the midst of everything that goes on in this world.
That's right. And I recently did my DNA and stuff, and really started looking into my history, because my family wasn't good at talking about history and what we went through as a family.
Okay.
And I found out I was born in Harlem Hospital.
Okay.
Which is an amazing thing, because I had a whole nother story that I thought was from my childhood that I now found out wasn't really true.
Okay.
But born in Harlem Hospital.
Okay.
So I have a big love for Harlem, but then I moved to the Bronx with my grandparents, and then that's where I was raised from about 5 on.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And Harlem Hospital, which always mean something to me, because I work with the Renaissance, which is a fixture of Harlem Hospital, and that whole history. When the Renaissance first opened up, I started working at the Renaissance.
Wow.
And worked there, and Harlem Hospital, the Renaissance, all that's family to me. Because me being at such a young age, in my early 20s, just being a part of that whole deal, up until 59, 58, and something like that, and still even a part of it. I'm not working there anymore, retired, but just a wonderful thing. Because I always try to put myself in the midst of, and believe it or not, even though Harlem Hospital and the thing, they don't, I wouldn't claim it for you to do unless you're gonna be, and then I guess it's like any other thing, you know what I mean? But I enjoyed when people would come in and feel better.
Yeah, me too.
Or when I was the ambassador and I could go around and help people get themselves situated.
Yeah.
But even when I was with Picture the Homeless or the other things, AIDS and Housing Network, or all the other things that I familiarized myself that I was either on the board of or a part of, anything that I could do personally. And that wasn't even without pay. I mean, we would do things and stuff like that to make people's lives better that really needed it, that really had drug addictions and problems.
And that's the other thing. I'm so glad you're talking about this, because that's one thing I've always felt about. I know we're kind of going around a bunch of topics, but all these topics mean so much to me.
Yeah, because it's you. It's who you are.
But I feel like we need more representation in the whole medical world in general. And I'm saying this to the kids. It's like, it's cool. Be a celebrity. You can be a reality star if you want. You can be a social influence, all that stuff. But we need people in the community, doctors, lawyers.
Yeah.
We need people out there that look like us, that can represent us and can really be there to have our backs.
Yeah.
Such as what you were doing, just giving your time,
Part of the Panthers and even the people that didn't have all the correct ways, that when they world famous, whatever, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, this one and that one, when they got together to step that line, a lot of them got killed. We already know all the people that got hung.
Yeah.
We already know all this. And then it's so discouraging now when these people come up and say, our history, they wanted this, not pretend it didn't exist. Let's erase it.
Yeah, what they trying to do in
what are
Florida
they
and all these places.
Putting
books off the shelves, telling us, when y'all have lied to us for years. I've been watching all these movies about Egypt, and I'm like, that's not what Egyptians look like.
Absolutely. Not at all.
But we ain't going to go into that, but you know exactly what I mean.
But you and I know to teach the youth whatever we can. And in your creative zone, when you make the music, when you make sure that you have different things that elevate the reality and truth, the truth will always come to the light.
Man.
And so when you elevate it,
ooh, you lucky I don't have my tambourine. I'd be over here, right? Let me tell you.
Because you remember when Sade first came out and the thing, of course, they always looked at Africa, the people from Africa, as people that, well, if we came up with the beats in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's making so many people, I mean, that want to just stick with the beats.
Mm-hmm.
You can just stick with the beats and
that can speak more louder than any words.
yeah.
Because
You
it's
don't
the
have to
emotion.
say a word.
Exactly. Especially because you got the emotion of the actual instrument connecting to the person that's actually playing the instrument. Whether it's a bongo, whether it's a violoncello, but it's just that's why I love live music. You know what I mean?
And it's so profound.
Mm-hmm.
It's so profound. It gives each and every person a personal message
That's
inside
right,
to the
yes.
heart. It's a direct line straight to the heart. It makes you feel sensational.
Oh, that's good. You need to put that on a T-shirt.
But
Music
be,
is a straight
listen,
line
you're
to
the
the
one
heart.
that's doing it.
Ooh, that's good.
You're
That's
actually
good.
doing it.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the work that you're doing, that you're creating,
Yes.
that you're a part of.
Yes.
That is your world.
Yes. Wow.
So,
Wow.
action speaks louder than words. Huh?
That's the truth.
And your actions,
Thank you.
they speak for themselves. And I appreciate you and thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Because even people that don't know nothing, they may not know how to read or nothing. But that music, that sound,
Whew. Speaks.
can lift them up.
Mm-hmm. Just the vibrations.
Yep. No matter how low. And we already seen how low things can be in this world.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how low. That can
Oh,
pull
yeah.
them up, help them lift their children up,
Mm-hmm.
and decide to get on a bus or a touring thing and go someplace else to plant.
Some more seeds.
Seeds.
Come on now. Oof.
And that is so
It's so important.
It's so important.
Yeah, especially for our future
Yeah.
just as a people in general.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think, well, I think they didn't, but I think now people are starting to understand their own power.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a time where we can see it happening right before our eyes, where truth is just being revealed on top
All
of
the
truth, on top
time.
of truth.
And we realize that although we have these days that we have Dr. Martin Luther King Day and stuff, things really haven't, in the spirit of life itself, haven't changed that much. Although they might say a day
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, but the actions that they want to take when it comes to the vote and killing progress of people being happy, which is the reason why we have government in the first place,
100%.
to take things away from people that created it and put it out there and pretend that it
They
didn't
don't even exist.
and claimed it. They never heard of it, claimed it,
Exactly.
and claimed everything else. But
Like you can literally now put an invisible marker, almost like going to the moon and putting your flag down and say you own my thoughts. Like that is crazy in the world that we live in. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Which is one of my fears, even with some of the technology we have.
yeah,
You
because
know?
what are they making all the robots for?
Oh yeah.
And if they're making robots, I know when you think about that and you put some kind of sound together, who is it with their hatefulness
Ooh.
and their unhumane actions? Who is it that they are wishing to eliminate and replace with the robots?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's very obvious.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they say that the intent is to make life easier for us. And I do think there are some people who have that intent, but I think there are also a lot of people who are
The
naive.
people that are actually putting the money towards it.
They're
Those
naive.
people, those people that are putting the trillions of billions of money towards it, that don't have to say anything, just say, "Oh, we're willing to invest," with no other kind of like protocol, no other. You know what I mean? And
I
that's
know.
the scary part.
It is.
Because when the natural people that are doing it, the people that are bringing these things to actual effect, when they go or when they pass away or fired or whatever, that they really created, who takes that over
Yeah.
and do what they want to do with it?
I heard a man say the other day, and I thought this was powerful. And I don't remember his name, but he was saying, he said, I'm not really scared of AI. He said, but what I am scared of, he said, he said, look how much they're investing into making AI brilliant and smarter. And they're not investing that into humans and to make us smarter.
No.
They're continuing to dumb us down while the machines get smarter.
Yeah.
And he said, that's the problem. He said, the same investment we're putting into machines, we need to put into people. Because they deserve it, if not more than a machine that has,
of course. But the machine is not going to, like you and I may not feel good. Like we go through our personal medical problems that we have to handle.
Oh, yeah.
But the machine is not going to call out sick.
Yeah.
And the machine is going to be able to work 24 hours a day continuously, and they just may need a little reload or something like that, where we need sleep, and we need rest, we need food, we need water.
Exactly. Until
Yep.
Until the moment when because the one thing the goal is to humanize machines.
Yeah.
So when they start to think and problem solve on a different level, to problem solve with the ability to have emotion,
Yeah.
that's when we're in another ball game.
Yeah.
And I just think people need to be prepared for that.
Yeah. Well, they already brainwashing them because they don't even want to talk on the phone to their children or nothing no more. They'll send them a text, a voice, like you said, a voice. Hi, honey, how you doing today?
Mm-hmm.
Are you in the office? Are you okay today?
Mm-hmm.
Is everything fine?
Mm-hmm.
How was your day in school today, honey? Text.
Mm-hmm. And if you think about that, what you just said, we learn these emotions and these tactics from our family, our parents as we grow up. So imagine a machine who has an unlimited memory that they can tap into. Yeah. That's where
it's scary.
That's where it's scary.
It's more
for
than
me.
frightening and scary.
Because now you have the ability to manipulate emotions.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And then after a certain amount of time, we used to say, well, you have the haves and the have-nots, or the privileged and the unprivileged. You know that from in the world. When you were working on your own, you had enough knowledge. So never mind all of that, this school and that school and this school, because you were naturally developed with it.
Yeah.
You naturally had it within.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But if they can, they would take most of us and say, well, let's put them in debt even before they get a chance.
Oh, now you talking.
Go, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Go here, go there, go here, go there, go here, go there. And they didn't even learn half as much as what you did and 2 years experience developing the thing.
100%.
And they come in from school and know nothing about it. You have to also take time to spend time to then train them, and they still may not have it.
Yeah.
And they may be rude. They may not have mannerisms that goes for being a healthy office and for growing.
And to me, this is the advantage that my grandparents and anyone who are in those age brackets had over us. You went to school and you learned trades.
Yeah.
You went to school, you learned home ec, you learned how to take care of home, build a family. Even though it was never perfect, but you had something that you could take into the real world and apply
make better. Exactly.
And these people were building wealth, which we didn't understand what wealth was just a happy home, being able to pay your bills, move out of the urban area.
That's what they tried to teach us too.
Yeah.
But see,
we learned too quick.
We learned too quick because their main goal was to have everything.
Yeah.
And that movie, that with the one with the Indian movie.
Oh yeah.
Flowers of the Moon or something like that.
Yes.
That showed you exactly what went down.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Yeah.
That was the truth.
Oh yeah. And
That's
that's how they do it. They'll put it right in front of you.
And so, right now today, it's written down that they own all of this stuff, just like over in Africa, just like over in any place, Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, Jamaica, everything. Every place that they own everything.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's the truth. When we were just in
Tanzania. We have to pay to go there to where we naturally came from and our natural things that belong to us.
I always felt that the same way when Jewish people get to go to Israel and you get that birthright and that free trip.
Yeah.
That's something that all African Americans, black people in general, should have the right to go back to Africa, because I feel if we went and we saw it on our own, we would realize some of it is more developed than we think, but also we would see the imbalance. We would see the imbalance of wealth there, which is extremely poor or very wealthy. There really is no middle class.
The ones that stole the most and in the area of that, because my family is from the Ivory Coast of Africa. But listen, you know what? I gotta have you back on the show.
Oh, definitely.
We did get a chance. We did get a chance to really holler, but the people know a little bit about you, but way more than and they hear your humanity within.
Thank you so much.
In your craft, you take time out to care and love people.
Yes.
And that church is. I gotta say thank you. We need more people like you.
Well, like us.
Like us. And we just got to keep our ears and eyes open and listen.
Yes.
For whatever you put out in this universe.
Yes.
It's beautiful. And I thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, my honor.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Special shout out to my homie, Pilar. I love you. Thank you for all you do for me.
Yeah. And praise and blessings to you. And all that's a part of this unique, loving person. Bless you, and harmony and love be to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.